Sorry, there's a delay, but you are
There is.
helping people see the strength that
Mhm.
come from the struggles. And it makes them look at their own life and their struggles and say, well, if Nick is doing this, I
Mhm.
can do this. So when you ask me, what I do and whatnot is I come from a strength base. I look at
Mhm.
those challenges at the gifts that they bring you, the lens, the
Yep.
humanistic component that you have, the humbleness that I see in you, that people will approach you with their
Mhm.
problems
Mhm.
and their challenges because they can
Yep.
relate to you.
Mhm.
Those are the things, like, you have found your gift. You have a gift out of all
Mhm.
this.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Infinite Ability Podcast. I am your host, Nick Yerhart, and we are here to encourage each other to find our own unique abilities. Let's go. This episode of the Infinite Abilities Podcast is brought to you by the one and only Infinite Toolbox, where just like all other toolboxes, we will get the job done, guaranteed. Whether you're an entrepreneur looking to save time, boost revenue, or automate your processes, Infinite Toolbox has got you covered. With powerful tools designed to drive leads, expand your reach, and gain your industry secrets, we help you work smarter, not harder. Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Visit us at infinitetoolbox.com. That's infinitetoolbox.com, and discover how infinite your potential really is. All right, everyone. So today we have Michelle Raz, and I can't wait for her to tell you all about what she does. So, Michelle, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. So I've been in the space and field of working with neurodivergent communities since 2010, and actually even before that, because I got started with my family members who are neurodivergent.
Mm.
And I work with students for academic success that's centered around executive functioning skills. And all of our clients are neurodivergent. So they may be ADHD on the spectrum, autism, AD, can I say it? ADHD on the backside, and then other comorbid conditions, dyscalculia, dysgraphia, anxiety, depression, all of the terminologies that fall under neurodivergent. The
Mm-hmm.
commonality, though, between all of them is that they struggle with these executive functioning skills.
Yeah.
And for those people that don't know what those are, they typically start with emotional regulations that are hard to regulate for various reasons. And that then will also filter down and trickle in and affect their academic success. And so we start with helping them with those. And then our key core part of our program is helping them with organization, time management, procrastination, short-term memory. And I have a lot of brain hacks and whatnot that we help people be able to thrive in whatever goals they have with
Mm-hmm.
their academic success. And I've also worked with adults as well. So that's in a nutshell, which is a lot. When people ask me what I do, I say, well, okay, are you ready for this?
Yep. Well, no, it's really good what you're doing. You know, it's definitely needed. I know you're helping a lot of people, so I just want to thank you for what you're doing because it's extremely important. And it seems like
Thank
you know,
you.
people that are neurodiverse, it's more and more, nowadays. So it's definitely good
Well, we all are
to
diverse,
understand.
right?
Well, yeah,
And
exactly.
the difference is, yeah, and people are just that are struggling to be able to fit into what is, quote, normal out there, they
Yeah.
tend to mask, and it's exhausting and it's
Mm-hmm.
frustrating, or they just don't do it at all, and then they
Mm-hmm.
get rejected by society. And so
Yep.
what my approach and my program that I've developed over the last 15 years is that we look at this as a place of strength. We look at what it is that being neurodivergent, a non-linear thinker, really, let's talk about that. We have the linear thinkers, which is the traditional education route, and then we have the non-linear. And it's hard for those people to relate in a linear world. And in the linear world, they're wondering why the nonlinear thinker can't follow directions. They're not fitting in. And what happens for the people, that are masking and trying to fit in, they're often compromising their, not only their happiness, but their own creativity and the gift that they bring to the world by thinking differently and seeing the world through their own lens. And I'm sure you can relate to that yourself. When you are struggling with an area, you're not typical.
No.
You looking at things differently. But what is the gift in that? What do you bring with your neurodivergent mind?
Yeah, exactly. And like, I grew up my whole life trying to fit in, and I would basically try to hide that I have cerebral palsy, and well, you can't hide this. So, it wasn't until just a few years ago that I actually accepted who I am and became, like, okay with having cerebral palsy. And now, like, I thrive because I know who I am, so I can go out in public. I'm not ashamed of anything. Like, yeah, people stare. Okay, that's fine. Stare all you want. Give me more attention. That's kind of how I am now. It's like, I want all the attention. Where before, I didn't want to stand out. I wanted to be quote unquote normal.
I love that.
And now
I
it's
love
like,
that. And here's my thing.
Yeah.
Sorry. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
And I'm going to go somewhere with this question.
Okay.
What is it about your struggles where you didn't fit in, for the obvious reasons and then for the not obvious reasons? How has that shaped you and giving you a gift that you can then go out there and just share with other people in the world?
Well, it gives me a gift of, simple inspiration. People see me out, doing all these things, and they're like, oh, well, I can do more. Like, why am I not doing more? So I like to just give people that extra little boost. Like, come on, we can do this, Because, like, every day I fight through struggles, it's not easy, but I keep going because, number one, I like the challenge. So I like challenging myself to figure out how to do things on my own. And then the second thing is, I know that by me sharing that, because I post on social media every day, videos, and I do these podcasts, and I can share my struggles and how I overcome them. So then I can help other people overcome the same thing.
And do people want to hear from you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they do. And that's something that I never thought. Yeah, I always thought, like,
you are helping people see.
Yep.
Sorry, there's a delay, but you're helping people see the strength that come from the struggles. And it makes them look at their own life and their struggles and say, well, if Nick is doing this, I can do this. So when you ask me, what I do and whatnot, is I come from a strength base. I look at those challenges at the gifts that they bring you, the lens, the humanistic component that you have, the humbleness that I see in you, that people will approach you with their problems and their challenges because they can relate to you. Those are the things, like, you have found your gift. You have a gift out of all this.
Yeah, exactly.
And
and that's why I became a coach.
You've embraced.
Because I can go out and help more people. I can take what I learned through my challenges and really help others through theirs.
Absolutely. And so that's where I was at. We all have different levels of challenges, and mine was very personal within my family. And I was like you, I dug in and I worked through it. And there were people that didn't understand what I was doing when I was doing it, I was advocating. And so I created solutions to help with the weaknesses, just like you have to have probably some adaptations. I help people find their own adaptations. And a lot of the people that I work with have they're hidden disabilities.
Yeah.
And so that with the work that I do is I'm helping them not have to mask and be okay and find the strengths in the way they perceive the world. And then honing that strength and turning it into something that they can ultimately, make a career out of, or at least, an advocacy. I don't, you do a lot of this stuff, I think, out of free will to help people. But we can take a look at these and find these skills, these transferable skills, they say in the workplace, that have come from our view, the lens that we see the world through, and quite honestly, some of the struggles too that help shape it. But I'm also a proponent to do early interventions. So I work with the younger kids to try to get them before they start to experiencing the masking and the shaming and the lack of confidence that comes from struggling for all those years. But really, I got my start in when people were coming to me that were either ready to drop out of school, they were ready to quit their job, they were on the verge of getting fired. They didn't like their educational path because it didn't fit them, but they thought they were supposed to fit into a role, but their true passion wasn't there. And I come in and help them be okay with who they are and then hone those strengths. Now, I'm saying everything's, strength based. I mean, it is strength based, but it's like we all have weaknesses. And so with those challenges, and that's where I hone in on these executive functioning skills, is we help them create strategies so that they can move through their day, whether it be at school or at work or in life in general, relationships. And so this has been the cornerstone of how I have developed the programs that I have today and the relationships I have today, and then my 3 companies that I have today, helping people just like you.
That's really awesome. And, you talked about, people figuring out what they can do and maybe making a business out of it. And that's a lot of why I started this podcast, because I bring on people who have, disabilities themselves, or experts like you, or you kind of fit into 2 categories because you're an expert in your field and you're an entrepreneur. So I bring in entrepreneurs to share their journey, share how they help people, why they help people, because then I hope that more people with disabilities, I like to say different abilities because I just like that a lot better. But hopefully they can see like, hey, I can help people with this. Now, how can I turn this into a business? And that's really what I want to do with this.
Okay. So how did I make this into a business? That's a good point. That's a really good question because so I think a lot of this has to do with, my personality. I grew up in an entrepreneurial family and I've always had some kind of business going. It was just in my genes. It's just what I enjoy doing. I'm a non-conventional, non-linear thinker myself. And I didn't want to be put in a box and told what I needed to do every time. The very few jobs that I have had, I always had ideas of how to improve it or what I would do differently. And so I'm a person that will jump in with 2 feet and figure out how to swim. And so when that was, my history, my life. And then when it came into a very personal situation with my family members and seeing the struggles there, my background was in education. And I said, I know, because I'm an idea person, how to help. And so it was really a catalyst to help my own daughter, which is so common, right? When we have these passions, it's that passion that carried through my business idea because I ultimately found my purpose in helping and serving people to help them be the best version of themselves. Like it's my passion. It's what I love to do. And we all need to make a living. And so it's almost secondary to be making a living because I serve on a nonprofit board. I'm on the Global Movement, which is I'm a founding member, which is a nonprofit. We are a for-profit company, but we constantly are looking for federal money to help. I believe that as a society, we owe it to these individuals to be able to service them and offer these skills for them rather than try to keep us in a linear system. And I think we can coexist with the linear system. And so I became a woman-owned small business, which is quite a feat. And so eventually I would like to have government contracts so that I can go in and help serve people. And that is more on, it's a business side, but it's also a goodwill effort as well. So it has, here's one thing that I've done my whole entire life is whatever idea that I have, and I have many ideas, I have the core of my purpose. And whatever my new idea is, if it sticks to the core of my purpose, then I will add on to it with my business. If I have this great idea and I'm planting what I call like a new seed over here and it's a new sprout of a tree, it could be really fun and exciting. But is it taking away from my core purpose, my passion and purpose? And my gift, we all have gifts. My gift to the world is that I'm a good listener. I can listen to you. I can empathize with you. I will go out of my way to help you find a pathway to your true purpose and your success in life. We all are here we have to make a living, and I would do it for free. And so that piece coupled with the financial is a beautiful, intersection for the two to come together so that I can feel passionate about getting up every day. When you are an entrepreneur, you would know this as yourself as you're doing this, there are no breaks. Your mind is on with that business. If you're truly passionate about it, day in, day out, at night, ideas. And it's really important to have that passion be the catalyst of why you did it. I did it because I wanted to help my daughter. And then I have a business mind and I also need to make money. But I also do it in a human-centric way. And I believe that it's also, I'm also a servant as well. So does that answer kind of, why I do what I do? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. And, it goes off what I like to say, the more money that my business makes, the more people I can help. And that's why I do this, is to help as many people as I can. So I know that you said that you have 3 businesses. Would you like to tell us what they are?
Sure. So I have my flagship one, which is called Coaching Academics. That's how I got started in this whole thing. And that's where we work with students. They're neurodivergent, and we help them with their executive functioning skills. Like, you can think about the nagging parent trying to get their kid to get some work done, and you're just exhausted, and it just creates a lot of conflict. So we help navigate that and develop those executive functioning skills so they can get their work done. So that's the academic program, and we service middle school, high school, and college students really seeking to be independent. And they have to be, there's a whole buy-in process. We have an accountability behind it. And those coaches that we've trained in my program follow through with that. Then from a shoot off of that, I would have college students that were graduating college and didn't know what to do. And so I got into the career development piece of that. And so Raz Coaching was born, razcoaching.com. And that quickly turned into servicing adults that were in professional positions in the workforce that were neurodivergent, and they were masking. And they were coming to me and saying, do you work with adults? And I said, well, what I do with the students, I can do with adults as well. You just eliminate the academics, but it's still the core, which is executive functioning skills in the workplace. Are you getting your work done? Are you showing up on time? Are you able to keep your cool in a meeting when something really triggers you? These things that are consistent with an academic are the same in the workplace. And then also, my latest one is called Thrive Beyond Therapy, thrivebeyondtherapy.com. And that again came out of what I'm doing. See, I'm not planting a new seed. These are offshoots, which is key to my neurodivergent client struggling with executive functioning skills. Well, many of our students and adults in the workforce are struggling. They might be struggling with anxiety, depression, eating disorders, addictions, and they may go into treatment or heavy therapeutic sessions. And when they come out, what do? What support do they have? Who's going to hold them accountable to the skills that they just learned in these treatment programs or therapeutic relationships? And so, and again, rooted in my own family experience, I was able to take that knowledge and apply the executive functioning skills, especially the emotional regulation piece, into an accountability program to help support the tools that they have learned in whatever program that they were coming out in, so they can apply it in regularly day life. And that's usually shorter term. And then they can then go into maybe career development. Maybe they want to recreate themselves in a new career field, or they want to go back to school, but they know they need that academic support behind them, which is kind of why they went down the road that they did, is that they just never got a handle on those executive functioning skills. So that's why there are three different businesses, but all in the same.
Well, that's amazing. I love what you're doing. It's really cool to see you, kind of doing what I'm doing, where you're adding on to your business, but it still follows your core. So I really like that. And then how can people reach out to you?
Yeah, that's good. I always send people to LinkedIn. I'm very involved in LinkedIn. I just got back from Stanford Neurodiversity Project, and I like to post, kind of what's up and coming and the new terminology. And I'm saying there's so much help because the medical people are seeing this as a strength-based approach versus what's wrong with you, the deficit approach. So LinkedIn is definitely a way to reach out. Michelle Raz, R-A-Z. Otherwise, go to my websites for academics, coachingacademics.com, razcoaching.com for career development, and then thrivebeyondtherapy.com for anything to do with the latter one I just spoke about, for kind of a step down approach to any kind of therapeutic program. Yeah.
Awesome.
And I do
so
quite
much.
a few free things as well that, again, it would be on LinkedIn.
Okay, sounds good. And then
well, thank you so much for having me here.
Your abilities are infinite. What does your abilities are infinite mean to you?
Yeah. Wow. It's beautiful. I like that your abilities are infinite, that there is nothing, and this is what I say to my clients, there is nothing you can't do that you really want to do, especially if you have some strategies or tools to work around where you might have some doubt. So don't let something that you perceive as a challenge hold you back from what you see as your vision, which is your passion.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This was really, really great.
Yes. Thank you.
If you enjoyed this show, please go ahead and share it on your Instagram story and tag me here, the Nick Yerhart. Also, go ahead and share it anywhere else that you see fit, because the only way that I can grow this is by you guys sharing it. I don't sell anything on here. I don't have any sponsors, so let's just get it out there by word of mouth, help more people. Alright, everyone, remember, your abilities are infinite.